So we're nearing completion. Thank you for sticking with me so far. The first one is the hardest. They get a lot easier from here. So shaping devices. Shaping devices are anything that help you shape around the body. In this case, we have already done two. We've done a dart to shape your chin and 2 darts to shape around your nose. But the last shaping device we need is some pleats around the edge of the mask. I've tried some other things to do this. So in this version, I actually reduced to a point, and in this one I pleated. What I found is like and it might just be my face, I've got like those chubby chipmunk cheeks, but I need the fullness around there, but reduced right at the edge so that that I can attach the ties. Right now we're at about a 3.5 inches. We want to do 2 pleats to reduce that to like about 1.5 to 2. So I usually pleat once here, or I turn the seam allowance down and then I do another pleat. And I just kind of visually look for when it's even. And that is in my 1.5 to 2 inch range. So I am gonna press that. Another trick I've learned is if you have like, they're Pampered Chef little chip clips, but you can actually clip this into place until you baste it into place. So but I'm gonna do that on the other side as well. I like to make sure my pleats are going through my fabric and not my bias tape. So you've seen this side kind of falls out a little bit. That's okay. I'm going to take it over my sheen and baste it in place. So a basting stitch, we'll get readjusted for this camera angle. A basting stitch is meant to be a temporary stitch, to just hold something in place for a little while. In this case, it'll hold it in place until we turn it over and form that casing or tube that the elastic or tie goes in. You can turn up your stitch length 4, which is a longer stitch length, and you're just sewing close to the edge, and that just holds these pleats in place. And if it doesn't work the first time, that's the nice thing about a basting stitch. You can take it out really easily and try again. So you see that stitch just holds those pleats in place. We're going to do the same thing on this side.
How would you know if it's not working?
You wouldn't have the pleats, like when you picked it up out of the machine, the pleats would fall out. Okay, so I've got those basting stitches on both sides. Then we're going to fold it over about 3/4, a 1/2 inch to a 3/4. It's just kind of like, I don't know, I kind of eyeball it. It's about the width of my finger. And here's one thing I don't love. I don't love that we have a raw edge on this mask. I've been sewing for several years and I hate raw edges. At the same time, to fold this over twice creates a lot of bulk. So what I do is when this is folded over, I turn to a zigzag stitch. And I'm just going to zigzag over this edge back and forth so it kind of encases that raw edge, but still creates a tunnel for my string or elastic to go through. And I do this a couple times, so when I get down to the bottom, you can either backstitch all the way to the beginning, or you can simply pivot, which is to turn around your foot and go back up. And so this forms a casing that you can put a shoelace into. The other version that I really like is I really like the elastic headband. So you'll see the elastic headband on this version. I think this really offers a secure fit. You do have to put the elastic headband in now. So I would have to go back and seam rip this out. I'll show you how I do it on the other side, but you have to put that in now. The benefit though is if you're making this for somebody else, if you do the elastic headband in a casing, they get the choice. If this doesn't fit them well, they can always snip the elastic headband in and put in shoelaces or some other ties instead. However, if you sew elastic right into the seam, that's the only option they have for fit. So because these masks are kind of a special effort of love, I really like to offer versatility in them. So if you, I recommend forming the casing rather than just sewing elastic into the sides. But I'm gonna finish off this edge, and then it's done. All right, there you have it. All that this needs is some ties inserted through here, but then you have a mask that's ready to go. Almost ready to go. If you're wearing this, one thing you need to know is you need to smear the inside with a little bit of Dawn or baby soap so that your mask doesn't fog up. But yeah, this is my take on the Clearview window mask.